This morning, we are getting a sneak peek inside one of Atlanta's newest residential developments. It'll be located at the site formerly known as the Bowen Homes, a government housing project known for crime and blight. Joe Ripley standing by now. He's joining us this morning. It's taken a couple decades to turn this site around, but it's here.
It really has, and for decades now, Bowen Homes has been known as this place where, some of Atlanta's well-known rappers come from, along that west side corridor there in the city. And so, Dan, back in 2009, it was demolished, Bowen Homes. It was riddled with crime, blight, just unimaginable living conditions there. Residents would speak in horror of what they had to deal with then. But since then, since 2009, Atlanta Housing has actually worked at federal, state, and local level to try and get these dollars as well as support behind this newly reimagined Bowen Homes and to secure stable and affordable housing for former residents and newer residents who will again live there as early as next year. As the bulldozers move backward,
it's the regeneration of Bowen Homes.
Construction moves forward on the former site of Bowen Homes, a government housing complex that was riddled with crime and eventually demolished in 2009.
You almost see the soul of the community coming back.
Atlanta Housing CEO Terry Lee took me on a tour of the new site, which will include homes, around 40% of which will be affordable. Future plans also include commercial ventures, access to green space, and an elementary school.
We don't want to just build housing here. We want to bring back affordable housing, a mixed income community, but we also want this community to be integrated into the fabric of the entire neighborhood and the system that supports it.
Atlanta Housing closed on the first transaction here in 2023 and broke ground a year later. With phase 1 75% complete, families are set to move in by early next year.
All said and done, Bowen will be about 2,000 units, but not just housing. We'll also have workforce development opportunities here. We're looking at creating a memorial plaza to honor the residents that were killed, as well as injured in the bombing that took place.
Lee says families who used to live in Bowen Homes will get right of first refusal to move into the new complex. She calls it a renaissance of opportunity where families can have stable housing and amenities in Atlanta's ever-changing west side.
And you see the level of activity that's taking place in a neighborhood that had been forgotten. It reminds you why we do this work. You can't have opportunity without being inclusive and serving the families that actually deserve the opportunity to live here.
And so this project is going to be done in 12 phases over 13 years. Phase 1 is going to include more than 150 units, mixed income homes at that. We're talking apartments and townhomes as well. There's also going to be plans to ultimately connect this site to the Beltline as well.
So it's been 17 years since it was demolished?
Yeah.
And the residents who were pushed out at that time are going to get first dibs here?
Yeah, pretty much. And they've really had a hand in this process. They've stayed engaged with Atlanta Housing and some of the stakeholders here. And so I think it's really cool that they get to see, the newly reimagined Bowen Homes, a place that, growing up in this area, I never thought I would see. But you see the bulldozers moving. They've heard so much about plans. So to see the dirt finally churning, to see those houses up and really go in there, get a look inside to see, wow, and granite marble top countertops. You've got plenty of space, storage there. It's something that I don't think 20 years ago people really could have imagined at a former government housing site.
It'll give some pride in their new housing too. It sounds beautiful.
Definitely, yeah. As we know, that side of Atlanta is developing rapidly. We've seen kind of along that Bankhead corridor, now Hollowell Parkway, if you're familiar, especially with the Beltline going in there, so many amenities and new businesses sprouting up. And so this community, I hope, Dan, really spurs even more of that growth, but with those residents included.
The city ever evolving. Joe, thank you very much.